talking like they're in a position of expertise. One of my favorite interviews was when AOC was talking to that lady and she asked her to expand.
About Israel-Palestine?
Oh, yeah. My God.
She just collapsed into herself.
It's literally like a fifth grader that didn't study.
Yes.
And then they ask you about the subject, or you didn't read the book. And then, it's about Billy and his dog, and they have a really good relationship, these dogs.
But the crazy thing about that interview is that it's like, okay, so her first comment comes off with like total authority, you know? And then like one little follow-up question. The question's like, well, what do you mean by that? And then you just see her get weaker and weaker. And then like one more, but what do you mean about that? And she's like, I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. And she literally goes, I'm really not the expert. She just gave up.
But she kept going before she gave up.
She tried.
And you're supposed to know about that if you're going to talk about that. And it's not that hard to educate yourself on it.
Well, know a little bit at least. I mean, try.
You have an understanding of the history of the conflict. It is a crazy, convoluted one.
This is it. This is it. Yeah, sure. Play it.
I also think that what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is just an increasing crisis of humanitarian condition. And that, to me, is just where I tend to come from on this issue.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing.
No, that's not what the occupation means.
Where,
it keeps getting better.
Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing and homes.
Do you think you can expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd also just, I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue.
That lady, by the way, knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh, of course. She goes, I'm going to expose this chick. I'm going to expose her. She's, but, and you know what's crazy? I kind of agree with AOC's like starting statement. But then you're like, hey, you got to have something here, man. You got to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and also, like, this is not the place for that. You have 5 minutes or whatever you got, whatever that interview is. There's not a chance that you can lay out the history of this conflict and all the different accords and all the different.
Yes, of course. But there's also this weird thing in corporate media where there's almost like an unspoken, unwritten agreement that, like, look, if you just have a few talking points, you can get through an interview and sound really confident in yourself and sound like, hey, that guy knows what he's talking about, you know? And as long as, say, like, if I'm interviewing you, as long as I kind of agree that I'm just going to let you say your talking points,
right,
then you can come out looking really good. But as soon as one, like, interviewer like this one decides, like, no, I'm going to make an example out of you now.
And the beautiful thing about the way she did it, she just kept asking her to expand.
Yeah, so what do you mean by that?
Yeah, expand. She's not challenging her. She's literally just giving her the easiest of softballs.
Yep.
And there's nothing there.
Yeah, and that's right. And of course, AOC, you know, I almost feel bad, like, because she was such a, like, I think she was in her 20s in this video.
Crazy.
Like, she's just, they also kind of knew that, like, here's this woman who just is totally not up to the task and doesn't know anything.
Did you see the Marjorie Taylor Greene, the outburst